We go in the huddle on the Woodward Radio Network. In the Huddle is driven by Mills Fleet Farm. From Tanner's Sports Grill in Kimberly, here is Justin Hall with Packers offensive tackle David Bakhtiari.
And good evening once again. Welcome to Tanner's Sports Grill in Kimberly. We are in the Huddle on the Woodward Radio Network. In the Huddle brought to you by Mills Fleet Farm. David Bakhtiari back with us here tonight, coming off the 26-26 tie to the Minnesota Vikings. I know after the game, it was hard for anyone to put into words kind of the feeling coming out of a tie. You've had over 24 hours to process it. Do you have any, better words to kind of clear up the feeling?
No, I mean, basically what I told people, I said, I feel like I'm in limbo. I kind of really don't know, am I happy? Not really. Am I mad? Not really. We should have won the game. That's something that we wanted. It was a big thing. It's just, tying's really weird. And to have my brother text me, he goes, "How's it feel to kiss your sister?" I was like, ew.
That's kind of the saying, yeah. If anybody that didn't know, a tie is like kissing your sister. That's kind of the running joke around the league. But let's kind of take us through the roller coaster of emotions through the game. I mean, you guys get down early, and then a quarterback change. You guys come back, you go to overtime, you march down, you get the field goal, and feeling good. Then they get the field goal, and then nothing, game over, and you're tied. Yeah,
I mean, it was good to come back, a lot of momentum on our side, and then we march all the way down the field. I was so mad. I really wanted to punch that ball in, but we kicked the field goal, and we marched forever down. Kicked the field goal, they come back, they kick the field goal, and then, then it was like all hell broke loose. We're, penalty after penalty, and then we punt, and then they just squat on the ball, kind of game over type thing.
You get to that 65th, 70th, 75th minute, more fatigue than normal. I mean, does that kind of play into I'll call it the sloppiness, down the stretch?
I mean, there's so much adrenaline. I think I'm still on a little bit of adrenaline high because I woke up this morning, and after the longest game and most plays I've ever played in, I actually felt the best I've ever felt in the morning, which is not very common. I usually feel awkward. I felt terrible after the game, but this morning I felt fantastic. But I'm assuming tomorrow I'm probably going to get off my adrenaline high and then be like, oh, God.
and kind of an interesting week to do that because today's essentially a Friday for you guys, right? No, today's a Thursday. Yeah, tomorrow's the Friday. With the Thursday game. So to still have that adrenaline, really no time to sit down and think about it with Detroit coming up.
No, we barely even covered. This past game we already moved on because we got to go, and we have the game coming up Thursday.
Well, quarterback situation yesterday, a tough day for Scott Tolzien. I got to start with this. Maybe the run of the year and maybe the run of Green Bay Packer quarterback history from Scott on the first touchdown of the game. It's like all of a sudden he hit the circle button, did the spin move, and knocked the guy out of his jock, and there he was in for 6. Yeah. I mean, that was about as impressive of a run. Did you kind of see that unfolding, or did you have to watch back that on
No,
tape?
I mean, I was there. I saw him scramble live. I was sprinting after him, trying to go hit anyone. I saw him do the spin move, and then I knew he was going to get in the end zone, so I turned around and started pointing at the guy, and I was like, "You're jogging." I just started screaming at him. I was like, "Oh, my God, you're such a loser." I was just all jacked up. And, I mean, I talked to Scott, and I asked him, I was like, "So what was going on in your head?" You think? He goes, "Honestly, when I spun, I thought I was going to get trucked." So, he was bracing for impact, and then he realized he spun, and then there was no one to hit him. He, almost fell because he was expecting someone to hit him. So that's why you kind of see him, stumbling in. It was a hell of a run.
Thanks for cleaning up the trash talk and keeping it radio.
Yeah, I had to hold back some. I'm still excited about the play. I mean, it was awesome.
Well, we mentioned it didn't go well for Scott. After the game, he said, "I probably would have pulled myself too. Wasn't effective." I thought honesty, accountability, kind of responsibility there from Scott, kind of into the makeup that he is with Matt coming in, and they were playing catch on the sidelines. Warming up, which was weird, and then Scott went and talked to him, and Matt came in the game.
I'd say Scott is a class act. He's a team player. He's a great guy. He's definitely got the leadership intangibles that you need in a quarterback. I mean, he's a great guy. He's the honest, blunt truth, and he's truthful with himself. I tip my hat to him.
Matt comes in, came in, kind of seemed like there was a confidence to him. Coach McCarthy today said that it was about the same 5 plays that you guys were running, and some of it had to go back to, when he was here in 2011, just kind of how new he is with the playbook.
Yeah, I mean, going to be honest. I kind of just hear the play and I kind of just run. I don't really think too much in depth. I guess I don't have time to think about that. I have to, all right, diagnose what the play is and go out there and try and execute it. So, from what you said, yeah.
What did he bring? I guess from your standpoint, what did Matt bring to the huddle, confidence-wise, to kind of maybe give you that spark to get back in the game, because that was the timing of it.
I mean, I think we were able to run the ball pretty well throughout the whole game, and when Matt came in, he was able to just extend plays, extend drives, keep them going instead of getting a short 3 and out. I think that was the big kicker for him when he came in.
Yeah, I thought it was interesting, too, looking at his trek to get here. 3 teams in a year and a half. Was beat out by Russell Wilson, traded to Oakland, couldn't win that job, went to Buffalo, struggled there, and was released before coming in. I mean, quite the run. I mean, kind of a hats off to him. And I know he would have liked to get the win, but I guess personally, got to be a little redemption story for that. When you see a player come out and do that and prove people wrong.
Yeah, I asked him, and he said, "Man, I never thought I was ever going to be back here." But he said he's excited to be back. He's really happy to be back. He loved it here. Given his other opportunities of work, you have to take it when the opportunity presents itself. But he told me he loves it here and he's excited to be back. Him and Aaron are pretty close too, and he's got a lot of good buddies on the team. So he's happy to be around.
So it kind of fits in like he was never gone.
Essentially,
you weren't here, but
no. Even when he came here, there was no kind of weird get to know you. We're kind of already right off the bat. We're kind of
no icebreaker, stand up. Hi,
no.
My name is Matt. I'm with the LSU.
Exactly.
I like bubbles. I don't know.
Oh, he does like bubbles.
Does he?
How'd you know that?
I don't know. I sources told me that, but
anyway, great insider information you get there.
It is great insider information. Lions and Bears both lose yesterday, which at the same time the tie actually means something because you guys are now within a half game, but I'm sure at the same time you guys look at that as a missed opportunity to get on the same level as them.
We like keeping things interesting, Just when you guys we want to keep it nice and interesting, cut it down to the wire. No, it was great. For the league and the standings wise, great for them to lose, and this can be a big game for us this upcoming weekend. And essentially, this can kind of dictate, what's going to happen come down, because this can decide who's going to lead our division.
You had a great line about ties. San Francisco tied last year and made it to the Super Bowl. So just a line David told me before the show. Yep. We'll come back. We'll meet our guest, Chris Banjo, and more in the Huddle here on the Woodward Radio Network. And we are back here at Tanner Sports Grill in Kimberly in the Huddle on the Woodward Radio Network. In the Huddle brought to you by Mills Fleet Farm. Justin Hull with David Bakhtiari. We'll meet our special guest in a moment. Time right now for our Compass Land Consultant Injury Report. Compass Land Consultants, a full-service real estate consulting business. They specialize in the sale of vacant land, which includes hunting property. See all the hunters driving, all the people in the blaze orange in the stands now?
Oh, yeah, I do.
That's how we do it here in Wisconsin. But
oh, yeah.
Experts at Compass Land, they can lead you to that prized piece of land on or off the water, all shapes or sizes, and give Compass Land a call. Help you find pay dirt. Give them a call, 800-548-6933, or check them out at clclands.com. A couple of updates here. Aaron Rodgers, head coach Mike McCarthy saying slim to none on the chance of him returning Thursday. Said he would have to practice on Wednesday to be able to get out there. I know everyone's got their fingers crossed for number 12. Last week, cornerbacks Casey Hayward and James Nixon put on the IR. Defensive tackle Jarrell Worthy and safety Sean Richardson, they returned off the PUP list to the active roster. Sam Shields missed his second game with a hamstring injury. He was limited today at practice. Don Barclay missing another game with a knee injury. He was questionable going in. Andy Mulumba back on the field after missing a couple of games, our guest a couple weeks back. So good to see Andy back out on the field. Well, we introduce our guest, and really excited to have him aboard because I know Devon House, our other co-host, has called you the walking media guide for the Green Bay Packers because of everything, Safety out of SMU. Ladies and gentlemen, number 32, it's Chris Banjo. The walking media. Devon said that you know, like, all the little facts and information about everyone on the team.
I have no clue where he got that from.
No?
I have no. I have to address that with him ASAP.
Okay.
I don't know where he got that from, but
we'll have to see where he got that from. But let's find a little bit about Chris, and I think, just another story that exemplifies, the Green Bay Packers, the roster, the hard work, the dedication to get here. Sugar Land, Texas. You're a long way from home, but I'm sure with our wonderful Wisconsin November, it's even a little further away.
It makes it feel just like home, just like home. Just a little different, but not too bad.
So what is it like in Sugar Land these days?
Hot.
Yeah.
But not today, actually. It's probably about maybe 40 or 50 degrees, and they think that's a snowstorm over there. So
it's prime.
Yeah, I told them
prime
they haven't seen anything yet, if that's the case.
Is this how it was at Colorado, David, this time of year?
I would say pretty much. I mean, I think you guys might take it with being just a little bit colder, but, I mean, if we heard 40, 50 degrees, everyone would be outside in, like, all their swim trunks and bikinis, throwing, like, a beach ball around because, you don't see it with the sunny day.
Yeah. Skiing down the hills in the swimsuit. I got the videos of that. That's kind of a tradition.
Wow.
Yeah. Okay. Well, Chris, playing your college ball at SMU, undrafted in 2012. Just kind of take us through your road and how you ended up to Green Bay from that point.
Well, it was kind of interesting. Came out 2012, like you said. Didn't get any invitations to participate in training camp, so didn't have an opportunity to try to make a team. I waited that whole year, hoping and praying for a call. Hopefully maybe get an invite to a practice squad or a workout or something. Still didn't hear anything. So again, it circulated back around with the upcoming draft class and everything. And I was able to, get a couple workouts here and there, whether it be pro day or a little combine here or there. And, to God be the glory, I was able to find some favor, and a couple of teams, were interested at that point, and they took a chance on me, and I signed with Jacksonville. I thought I was doing well over there, went through OTAs and the off-season program, and they cut me a day before training camp started. So that was kind of interesting, but, it's kind of what the business includes. So I thank God for that because Green Bay called me 2 days later, was interested in having a workout, and I went through that, and the next day I was signed. So it's been an interesting journey. There are a lot more details that go into it, but we probably need all night for that.
Well, what did you do last year then? Because you mentioned, a couple of tryouts, but nothing really surfaced. I guess for most that would be kind of discouraging, but here you stuck with it. What was last year like? What did you do specifically?
Last year was very, very humbling. So that whole time, still just hoping and praying that you still get an opportunity. It can be very mentally draining, not only physically because you're still working out and still trying to make sure you're in the best shape that you can be in when you get the call, but mentally it was more of a toll on me, if anything. So during that time, I still had to find a way to pay for my bills and take care of the things I needed to take care of. So I had to find a 9-to-5 job, which was nothing wrong with that at all. But it was just knowing that my heart wasn't in it, was what kept still burning me. So trying to find balance between that and still working out before work and after work, when it's dark, when it's early in the morning. Like I said, it was real humbling, and I just thank God for the experience.
What'd you do? What was the job? I know DeJuan Harris came in last year. He was selling cars.
Mm-hmm. It was something I had no clue about. I was looking for a job in the NFL, but I was actually helping other people find jobs because I was a recruiter in the IT industry. I had no clue what I was doing. I had to talk to people in the nicest voice possible. And, I tried to help them find jobs, but had no clue what I was talking about, so I was probably the wrong person to come to.
So were you here for the start of camp, or was it a couple of days in?
It was a couple of days in the camp.
What's that like, I guess, coming in, OTAs, mini camps? All these things are complete, and, you kind of come in late in the game, and probably a lot of catch-up, too. And, to be honest, backs against the wall probably for, making that 53-man roster or, getting that practice squad invite.
Definitely. To be honest, like you said, it can be a little intimidating. You're coming in with a group of guys who are, already ahead on the playbook, already ahead on the schemes and the terminology of just how things are done in Green Bay, whether it be on the practice field or off the practice field. So, trying to find your way and try to fit into all of that can definitely be a challenge. But, I just try to take it one day at a time and just try to remember how that feeling of last year was, of not having an opportunity. So I just try to maximize it and make the most of it.
David, you recall your first encounter with Chris, your first meeting? Maybe it was on the field, something he did to kind of stand out to you in the locker room and anything?
By the way, he just learned my name was Chris before the show. He was telling me. Yeah.
We'll get to that in a second. I think.
Wait, that's a true story?
That is honest, true story. I think. I'll say I'll get to that in a second. But I think we were in like the lunchroom or something. I think we started a conversation. I just asked because I remember I met you as Bader. It might have been in the locker room or we were getting lunch at the time. But I mean, he's safety. I'm offensive lineman. Not on the same. He's on defense. I'm on offense. But I mean, he's in a completely different world over there on the defensive side. So we don't get too much interaction. Going on to his name. I just had never heard his first name. Everyone was Banjo. And then one time we were in was it a rookie success meeting?
Yep.
And someone said Chris, and you responded, and I was like, who the hell is Chris? I looked over, I'm like, Banjo, your first name's Chris? And then I was,
what a great teammate,
Yeah.
You came in knowing everything about everybody, according to
the Mr. Media guy.
Yeah. Jared Bush plays the tuba, and Devon used to play baseball. You know all that stuff. Yeah,
I had no clue.
Well, I mean, I'll say this: that's the second time I actually lived with a roommate my freshman year in college, and I found out I think 2 months before he moved out. I didn't know his first name. We called him Tharp. I didn't know his first name was John. Just kind of sticks. I mean, everyone goes by name Tharp, so. Same thing, Banjo. Didn't know his first name.
That's a great name, though. I mean, Banjo.
It's kind of
to go by that, that's catchy.
Yeah, see, I didn't want to know his first name. That was the thing. I just didn't want to know it.
No, that's what it was.
So what do you guys call him, David? Because
I just call him
pronounce
Bach.
his Bach?
Yeah,
Okay.
I don't know if you guys kept up with wrestling too much, but I wanted to call him Kane. He was this old school wrestler. If you see his hair all the way down, he definitely resembles him.
Kane, Undertaker. I'll take either one.
You probably got yourself a post-football career in the wrestling world if you want to.
I mean,
he could do that.
I think he could.
They got
you guys would be a great tag team, though.
Oh, he's not choke slamming me.
Well, you're on the same team. You gotta help him out. Yeah,
we can try that.
Yeah, we'll tag in.
Kempner High School in Texas. Tell us about playing high school football there, and I guess making your way to SMU.
Playing high school football in the state of Texas is amazing. I mean, the atmosphere that surrounds all the high school games in terms of all the traditions and the camaraderie and the family. You can go to a high school game in Texas and see 10 to 15, 20,000 people there. So it's a great atmosphere. It's a great feeling, and that's something I'm real thankful for.
They have some of those multi-million-dollar complexes they're building for high. When we see those up here, we just get in awe. But do you have one of those? Or?
I mean, I did not at my school, but it was interesting when the Packers came to Dallas for the Super Bowl. It snowed out and everything. They were actually supposed to practice at my school, but because of the snow, they had to go to a high school indoor facility, and it was amazing. So
interesting destiny, kind of that pairing, that early encounter with the Green Bay Packers. We got Chris Banjo and David Bakhtiari. We'll have more as we continue on in the huddle here on the Woodward Radio Network. And back here at Tanner Sports Grill in Kimberly in the huddle on the Woodward Radio Network. In the huddle brought to you by Mills Fleet Farm. Transportation for our guests brought to you by L&S Classic Limousine. And we have Otto with us today. Lenny got a little banged up this morning. He was here in a sling, so we have to send our best to Lenny on his recovery. And I want to make this announcement, too. Our friend Roger, one of our front row fans here, for In the Huddle, we mentioned a couple weeks back he was hit by a car. He's recovering well. He's in rehabbing right now, so all the best to Roger. Good to hear things are going well for you. And we want to say this, too. We mentioned the limo ride down. Debbie and Carl Bakhtiari in the house tonight. David's mom and dad. And I understand it is Carl's 60th birthday.
Yes.
Today as well.
Yeah.
So happy birthday.
Happy birthday to him. I don't think you want people knowing his age, but I mean, good for you.
He looks about 25.
That's what Banjo said. 60? Really? See, even I'm calling you Banjo, not Chris.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I mean,
just kind of how it goes.
He's 60 and he has more hair than me. That's crazy.
Well, time right now for a wild card segment where we like to go off the path a little bit. David Bakhtiari, Chris Banjo here, and I thought because it's a rarity, 1987 was the last time it happened. We're going to do a tribute to ties today. Talk a little bit about ties and the sports that have ties and why does the NFL has ties.
I thought we had enough ties already. We got to keep going.
All right.
All right, no, we'll go.
All right,
We'll do it.
first question about ties, okay? Bow tie or regular tie?
Bow tie.
I'm a regular tie. Bow ties, I think, look a little weird on me.
Yeah.
I can't imagine myself with a little bow tie.
335 pounds.
You look like a
bow tie guy?
You do look like a bow tie.
You gotta keep it
But
Yeah.
I think there's a market for 300-plus bow tie guy. Room in this. I mean, you could take on the persona.
The long hair?
It's being the long hair, the voluptuous hairs.
Maybe a
Yes.
David
Fabio
likes to
type
call
of
it.
guy.
Forgot that.
Huh?
With bow
Maybe
ties.
Fabio? No?
Oh, I don't know. Bow ties.
Yeah, just stick to regular tie.
I just don't think it fits my repertoire.
You know how to tie a tie?
I do.
Or are all your ties tied already in the closet?
No,
Mine are definitely tied.
how I taught myself, I actually went on the internet, typed in how to tie a tie, and it gave you a step-by-step, and I printed that out and put it in my closet, and I just watched it. Now I just memorize it by heart.
I think it's tieatie.net, and it's sad that I know that. I believe I was at that site.
Yeah.
So all your ties are pre-tied?
Yeah, and I get so mad if one of them accidentally comes undone. Like my whole day's messed up. Because I don't know how I'm going to get this tie done. I have to, like you said, go on the internet, YouTube or something.
Do you guys have a dress code when you're on the road? I mean, do you have to dress up? Do you got to, look all dapper and to the nines when you're heading to the opposing team stadium?
I wouldn't say it's extreme. Not everybody has to wear a suit and tie, but, something that shows, you're on a professional level. I guess you could say it's about business and not just, sweats and some flip-flops like I would like to do, but...
Yeah, they said
comfortable?
like nice shoes, dress shoes. I think jeans. I don't think they said no shorts, and like a nice shirt, collared shirt, something nice.
Okay. Were you guys aware that an NFL game could end in a tie?
I was.
Okay, and I'm just going to start it. You don't have to be embarrassed because both Corliss and Eddie Lacy were unaware.
I forgot
told
about
the
it
media.
until about I think it was in overtime around the 150 mark. I was like, wait, what happens if we're still tied at the end of it, and I was reminded that there is a tie. So
Is that a rule that needs to be changed?
Yeah.
When you look at it.
Oh yeah, I read on something. I think the cool thing, because I don't think they'll do the college thing, just because I don't know why, because the college already has it. I think it'd be fun if they just said, all right, no time clock, first team to 6. So either score a touchdown or some person kicks 2 field goals and gets first person to get at 6 points wins. So that'd be cool. Imagine if it went on forever. That's the one kind of repercussion. But fans would love it. Players are like, hell no. I'm a player, and I'm kind of like, that sounds kind of fun. But
no, it doesn't.
Maybe if I'm a couple years older, I'll be like,
You don't got Chris with you. What would be your ideal overtime ending?
Let's stick with Banjo. Chris keeps on.
Okay, I'm sorry. I keep going, who are you talking to?
Yeah, I thought I invited Banjo on there.
All right, Banjo.
Similar to what's going on, just since I guess you could say the first person to score a touchdown wins. I think I like that rule, but I really can't be too mad with the tie thing right now. Yes, it's unique and different, but I don't think it's too big of a deal because it doesn't happen often. So
it's interesting what you said, take the field goal out of the game, and I bring that up because McCarthy was asked about that. Mm-hmm. You guys are, inside the 5, 4th down. I guess is there part of you that wanted to go for it yesterday, David? Go for the win, go for the knockout punch, because look at the repercussions there if you don't get it. They're backed up inside their 5-yard line. They're not going to have great field position. And worst case scenario, you play field position game, kick a field goal, and win. I guess I've thought about that long and hard and formulating an opinion there. Sorry.
I thought about it too, but it's a lot of it's ifs, ands, and buts. I'm not the play caller. I can't. I trust our coach's judgment at the end of the day.
Okay. Other sports that can end in a tie. Do you know a few?
Soccer.
Yes.
hockey.
NHL used to have the rules, but they changed it and they went to the shootout rules, where they always have a shootout now. Used to be there. MLB All-Star Game 2002. That was here in Milwaukee too. That's why Wisconsin fans know all about it.
Others.
Do you know any other sports?
Rugby.
Yes.
Cricket.
Wow.
Yes.
Thinking
Those are the other two I had on my list.
Boom.
Yeah.
Next question.
Apparently,
Well, excuse me.
cricket has ties and draws. Based on how cricket is played, there's a difference between
You should know
the
this.
two.
Media guide. You're
See,
just
he
all
must have
over
been
this.
talking about him. 'Cause
Yeah.
I obviously don't know what I'm talking about.
Okay.
I mean,
Do you played cricket or rugby?
I do 3 days a week.
Okay. Yeah.
When I have some free time, I like to Go play some cricket
in the snow.
That would be entertaining.
That's the thing with like that long like baseball paddle type thing, right? And you swing underhand.
With the wickets and then the little sticks you're trying to knock over.
Yeah, I've never played it before.
There's some highlight videos on YouTube. You can probably learn if you want.
I should make a highlight video of myself playing cricket. Put it on YouTube.
I think you get no hits. No hits.
I don't know if they'd be highlights or just like high don'ts.
Yeah.
What not to do playing cricket.
What would be high broken lights?
Yeah.
Would that be the opposite of a highlight there? Other things involving ties, tying the knot, the whole wedding situation. I guess we should, we've had David here. Is, he's a single guy? I mean,
I am. I'm a little too young, I think, for marriage. I'm just starting off my life, so I'm going to leave it at that.
Okay. Last year, DJ used this as kind of like his Match.com. Where like every week he was putting out feelers out there and talking about his match.
I think I'm okay. I'm going to kind of,
He's trying to be humble. He's really looking, to be honest. We talked about it on the way over.
Tying a knot is in your shoes. Do you remember how old you were when you could find out you could tie your shoes there? You could ask mom and dad on that one.
16, 17.
Yeah. Do you got the rabbit technique or the pull-through technique or how you do it? Yeah.
I'm like the one way underneath the hole. So I guess the two people, the only other way I know is like we do the two bunnies, they loop together, something like that. I don't know how to do that one, though.
What's your technique?
My shoes always stay in knots because I don't know what I'm doing. I tie my shoe differently every single time.
It's like your ties. You leave your shoes all tied.
I just don't do well with knots.
Okay. The other thing I came up with you can tie is tie-dye a shirt.
Mm.
You have any tie-dye?
Nah, I'm not that creative.
No.
That was way back in the day. Like back when I didn't care. Like how throw on a tie-dye shirt, sure, why not?
See, a tribute to ties is like a game ending in a tie. You just don't know where to take it, right?
Yeah. What other ties are there?
I ran out after tie-dyeing, tying knots, and other sports that end in a tie.
Can't think.
Yeah.
Tied down, I don't know. Tied up, tying other things. Okay, we're not going to go there. Fantasy football player?
Really?
Am I?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah? How's your team doing?
It's actually really funny. I'm 5-5-1.
That is very funny.
And the same thing happened. We didn't know you could tie in fantasy football, but clearly, this is a great scenario, too. I was up by 4. It was 78-74, and he had Adrian Peterson and the Vikings kicker left. And this was like week 3 or week 4. And them combined together got a total of 4 points. Adrian Peterson's a monster. So when we were like that, I was just completely shocked. And that's why I'm kind of funny. I'm like, well, if my fantasy football team wins, we win. So I just need to make sure I get the right lineup then.
So make sure you win the championship. That's what you got to do. Exactly.
Yeah, no, I'll make sure.
Chris, we'll throw that question at you, and we have our Brew Pub Pizza Ask the Player segment coming up. We roll on here in the Huddle on the Woodward Radio Network. And we are back here at Tanner's Sports Grill in Kimberly in the Huddle, rolling on the Woodward Radio Network. Hanging out tonight, having some fun with David Bakhtiari and Chris Banjo, so David doesn't get confused. We'll get to our Ask the Player segment coming up in a moment, our Brew Pub, lots of pizza Ask the Player segment. Hey, more on this fantasy thing, too, because we were talking before about how you were 5-5-1, and then you went to 6-5-1 because fantasy's a week ahead, so that's good when your fantasy team wins. That's kind of the route that you guys got to go. Kind of follow it through the season. Who's on the team, by the way?
Tom Brady, Reggie Bush.
Brady went to your high school.
Yeah.
Okay.
Jamal Charles.
Okay.
Larry Fitzgerald, AJ Green.
Are you in like a
Gerald
two-person
Boykin.
league with yourself?
No.
That's a pretty good team, right?
This is about 10.
Okay.
Andre Ellington.
Right,
Patriots defense,
yeah.
And then I think the Colts kicker, Anthony Terry.
You play, Chris? No.
No, I can't get into fantasy stuff.
Okay.
Too many moving parts for me.
I'd say that'd be weird though too for a defensive player.
I know. Yeah. I'm not.
when you say Reggie Bush, you're like, really?
We play. I wanted to
out there.
give him a bone. We played him. Like, were you gonna start him or something? I mean.
Well, I mean, I don't think about that when I'm playing.
I don't know how to
put that out there.
I don't know how to take this.
I would say I did have James Starks. I remember one time when we scored a touchdown, I was super pumped, and all of a sudden what flashed in my head was like, oh, I have my fantasy team this week. I was like, yeah! That's the one thing I remember popped in my head, like one of these games. I think it was like week 4 or something like that.
See, that would be the weirdest thing to me, I guess, is that the NFL have rules. Like, I mean, they got their rules of things you can do and can't do. Is fantasy frowned upon? I mean, are you going to get a letter from the league because you just admitted it on the show here that you play?
I hope not.
Yeah, I hope not either.
I don't think. I can't see how it would be bad.
Too many guys do it.
Yeah.
Too many guys do it. All right. Well, we'll get to some of our listener questions. This is our Brew Pub Lots of Matzo Pizza segment. We're a Brew Pub Lots of Matzo Pizza. You can find those in your grocers. We talked about cheese before. Half pound of Wisconsin mozzarella cheese. That's the good stuff. Got the premium meats, the veggies, all topped on there. Like I mentioned, visit your local grocer. You can find them on Facebook, too. And search out Lots of Matzo Pizza. Experience a truly great pizza. We got a few of our questions coming in from our listeners around the state. We'll start with this one from Gary in Appleton, and listening on HBY and WSCO here in Appleton. That's for you, David. Saw on your Twitter you retweeted a couple of days ago. He's soft. He lacks size for a tackle. He doesn't know how to use his hands. Not very good. I'm assuming that was a draft scouting report that somebody had on you, and you were retweeting it kind of a way to say you were wrong in so many words.
I mean, sometimes I like reading like what people saying, like just the doubters. People tell me what I can't do. I mean, my whole life everyone's told me that. I mean, I'm short. People told me I'm soft. I can't play. I almost enjoy it, and when someone tagged me and I read it, I was like, I really like that. And in the Twitter sphere, when you like something, you can either favorite or retweet it, so I chose to retweet it.
You use things like motivation like that, Chris?
Definitely, and it kind of just motivated me a little more because he said he was short, and I kind of got offended by that. But I feel like I need a booster seat up here. But you as an athlete, you definitely have to find other things kind of to help motivate you in certain areas, and I've definitely been in the same boat, being told I can't do something, my whole entire life. So it's definitely great to overcome all of that. So.
And I know I read your mom, a huge motivation for you. You want to share that?
Definitely. My biggest motivating factor in my entire life. I mean, she was real sick throughout her entire life, and being able to see her struggle and battle on a daily basis, how she would still continue to fight, and she lived well beyond what she was supposed to. It means the world to me. I mean, everything I feel like I do is for her. And I just, try to make her happy on a consistent basis.
She passed away a few years ago, right?
Yes, sir.
2010, yeah. Yes, so hats off to you for everything you've been able to do, with that as that motivation. That's great. Kelly in Tomahawk, we got this question listening on our great affiliate there, WJJQ. Do you get a few extra days off for Thanksgiving, and do you guys have a Thanksgiving meal planned? Want to start, Chris?
Yeah. A few days off for Thanksgiving. We actually pay on Thanksgiving, so
well, I guess I'm going to assume it after.
We get a couple days off. It's real good to get our bodies, feeling better again, especially after this short week. So we get a couple days off, and it's good to see your family and kind of hit that reset button. So when you come back, you're feeling a little bit refreshed. So that'll be real beneficial for us.
How about you? You got a nice Thanksgiving meal planned once you guys get back?
Honestly, no. Just gonna probably make some food at my house and catch up on some sleep, much needed sleep.
Okay. Yeah. I'm sure somebody around here would, if you to Thanksgiving dinner if you really want a nice feast, a nice buffet there.
I mean, I'm not saying I won't make myself a feast. I mean, I might make myself a whole genre of food. Just indulge and put myself in a food coma for like a good day and a half.
A whole genre of food.
Oh, yeah. I'm spitting out verbs and all that adjectives all day.
Next question coming from Dan in Madison, WTSO. You guys are playing on Thanksgiving this year. We'll get to that tradition in a second. But do you have any memories of watching Thanksgiving in the past?
I mean, I remember watching football all the time on Thanksgiving and then going out and with my brothers and a bunch of our friends and playing tackle football.
You and your brothers probably won, right?
Huh?
You probably won every single time.
I mean, yeah, we kind of split it up. I think my brothers always like to be on the opposite teams. They just love beating up on me for some reason because I was the youngest. And I could take it, too, so they were just like, oh, yeah, we'll put them on the opposite team. They just love tackling me. And they were defenders, too, so.
How about for you, Chris? I mean, growing up in Texas, Cowboys play every Thanksgiving, so I'm sure you saw a few of them. Okay, that's good.
Being from Houston, I just hate the Cowboys. But in terms of watching football on Thanksgiving Day, I feel like it was a must, especially being a football player. You just wanted to watch who was playing. But no specific memories in terms of, what the scores were or anything like that. But it was just always a good day. Food and football, I mean, it's a great combination. So
the Leon Lett fumble touch after the block kick, letting the Dolphins win? No? A little bit? All right.
I think anyway.
We'll come back. We will talk some Detroit Lions, talk short week, and wrap things up. In the Huddle, rolling on, brought to you by Mills Fleet Farm here on the Woodward Radio Network. And back one final time from Tanner Sports Grill in Kimberly in the Huddle on the Woodward Radio Network. David Bakhtiari and Chris Banjo with us here tonight. Thank a few of our other stations listening along on the Woodward Radio Network, WDUX in Wapaka, WHTL in Whitehall, WIXK in New Richmond, and WKLJ in Sparta. Thanks to all the stations on the Woodward Radio Network throughout Wisconsin and the one in Iowa, Waterloo, Iowa, listening along to tonight's show. Short week. Just kind of take us through, I guess, getting ready because you had the game yesterday and no Monday, no off day Tuesday. I mean, it's right back into the thick of things, isn't it?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, for me, it's real different, especially being a rookie, not really having this type of experience. It's kind of fun, but kind of weird at the same time. But, I mean, it's a high-performance business, and, we have to get ready and come ready to win.
So what was today like? Was it kind of a recovery day? Was there some work done, that sort of thing?
It's trying to I think, like this week, we're trying to maximize preparation with recovery. Whereas, a normal week, we're working more on preparation and, the recovery will come with the time. I mean, now we're really trying to use up every second we can with the preparation and then make sure we have enough time to get off so we can add the recovery aspect into it.
Excited to play on Thanksgiving? I know Thursday night football kind of has mixed reviews throughout the season, but, I mean, this is tradition. I mean, this is, you talked about it before, Chris. It's football and turkey. I mean, that's Thanksgiving. That's what we do. It's got to be fun to be out there and, be part of that national showcase tradition.
Definitely. That's definitely a fun atmosphere, not only to, like you said, watching it, but now being a part of it. It's definitely a big-time blessing, to uphold this tradition and be a part of it and just give the whole world a show. So
give the opportunity to play the Lions again.
Excuse me, I'm sorry.
Play the Lions again.
Oh, yeah,
divisional game too. Mm-hmm. So it's a bigger game, bigger atmosphere, and we'll get into the everything that's in line there in a moment. But David, today Coach McCarthy said that they're preparing 2 starters. Wouldn't name who the starting quarterback is. Can you help us out at all, or?
I'd love for you guys to help me out. I mean,
they don't tell you anything. You're just a rookie.
I am. Yeah, I'm just a rookie. Just yes sir, no sir. Would you like this? Would you like that? Done. Don't ask too many questions. Kind of just do your work. Get in, get out.
I guess preparing like that with the element of the unknown, is it a little trickier, or I mean, kind of like we've talked about too. You just hear the play call, go out and do what you have to do regardless who's there.
Well, I mean, it's kind of like, guerrilla warfare, the element of surprise. So, surprise.
Division-wise, you guys are 5-5-1 now. Mm-hmm. Detroit and Chicago are 6-5. Must win. Are we at that time of year where it's, kind of week by week, a lot of season left? I mean, situation speaking, you get a little bit more intense. All the hard questions now, Chris is looking at David to answer.
I mean, I think all these games have been big. I mean, at this point, this could be a big turning point for our season. I mean, I think this is a critical game. If we lose, are we completely done? I don't think no. But I mean, I think this is a good turning point. This is a crossroad for our team, and so for us to come out with a victory would be very beneficial in our favor.
How much of the season is confidence or momentum, I guess, moving forward? I bring that up because look at a team like Tampa Bay, 0-8. They've won 3 games in a row. Look at a team like the Giants. Carolina. And then you go to the other side of that, look at a team like Atlanta that hasn't found any of that. Houston, that's lost 9 in a row. There's some teams out there that when the ball kind of gets rolling the wrong way, it's about getting it rolling in the right direction. So rolling off 5 victories in a row for you guys, get momentum, confidence moving in the right direction.
Oh yeah, I mean the whole thing, teams winning the Super Bowl, heading into the playoffs. I mean, if you get hot at the right time, which is specifically like towards right at the end of the season, if you get hot at the right time, I mean, That's the most important thing. I mean, regardless, I mean, everyone loves the home field advantage going into playoffs. But, I mean, when a team's hot, I mean, like the Giants, their year they took the Super Bowl run, I mean, I'd take that over home field advantage.
Chris, last time you played the Lions, I'm sure you guys were prepping for Calvin Johnson, Megatron, what he was going to do. Wasn't there, didn't play, he was hurt. He's going to be out there on Sunday. I guess, as a defensive back, is there an excitement to go after the best, after Calvin?
As a competitor in general, I mean, you always want to play against the best. I mean, this is kind of what this league is built for, for everybody to go out there and showcase their skills and talent. But, us playing them again, scheme-wise, I'm sure everybody knows what everybody's going to do. So, you just got to line up and play football. So.
Yeah, I guess that familiarity, too, on a week like this where you only have 3 days to prepare is kind of a nice thing as well, because you've seen them before, and you've seen them for years. The coaches know pretty much, each other probably like the back of their hands there. So it kind of helps with prepping for a short week, right?
Definitely. I mean, but at the same time, you can know what they're going to do, but you still have to go out there and get it done. So,
well, best of luck to you, Chris. Thank you so much for stopping out. A lot of fun having you aboard here and getting an opportunity to meet you and, continued success through the season and in your time here in Green Bay, all right?
Thank you so much. I really appreciate you having me here. So.
All right, Chris Banjo, Packers safety. David, always a pleasure. Looking forward to a couple of weeks, and I'm not sure what the schedule is, but we'll see you again soon.
Yeah. I mean, the element of surprise has kind of been the theme, so.
It's like, boom,
you might see me next week, I don't know.
Maybe we'll call Banjo if you guys can't make it. So.
No, I can definitely make it. It's just you never know.
Well, yeah, him and Devon are going to switch a few weeks. But that's going to wrap things up here from Tanner Sports Grill in Kimberly. Mike Steele, our engineer. Reggie and Zach, our network's producers back at the Woodward Radio Ranch. Jason Kempf, our in-host host. John Wani, John Leopold, Dan Hohenberger, our Woodward sales staff. And, of course, all the great people here at Tanner's, Bruce and the staff. We thank you for having us out each and every week. We'll talk to you next Monday in the Huddle from Tanner's here on the Woodward Radio Network.